Hey guys, what's up? ShaneWolf38 here. Recently I was reading some comments on YouTube, and a guy named Zack was wondering how he could make it so when you throw an object, when it lands it's going to summon a mine, and then when any player comes near the mine, they're just going to blow up. So I decided to recreate that using some 1.8 features, because in 1.8 it's actually really easy to make that happen. So if we go over here and we just throw a snowball, when it lands it's going to summon this mine. We can do it again and again. Now let me mention that every single one I've seen that does something like this, it uses a timer or it's not multiplayer friendly. This will actually only summon the mine when it hits the ground, so I think that's pretty cool. If you go away from it, it'll actually stop playing that particle effect. When you go near it again, it will continue playing it. So as you can see, when we go near the mine, it'll just blow up. All mines will do that. So yeah, pretty cool. If you go into game mode 0, whoops, spelled that wrong, and you walk into the mine, it just blows up like that. Now let's see if I can find my snowball. Yeah, I can't. If you throw it at a wall, so something that's like this, and then you just hit the wall, oh, whoops, it'll just summon this. It actually won't work if it hits, if it goes like right here in the edge of it, but yeah, most of the time it will work quite well. So yeah, pretty cool. Now you have 3 mines. You go near one, it just blows up. There we go, and yeah, boom. Yeah, you actually have to go a little bit above where the smoke is, so if you're walking, it's going to be like right about here, and it'll just blow up. Now let's get into the commands. It's pretty simple. Now I'm going to put all the commands in the comments, because if I put them in the description you get all this weird code and that'll just mess up the commands. So, whoops, I'm on the wrong side. So this is just a fill command, filling this 20 times a second. Now I had to build this south. If you see right here it says facing south. Now that's just so they will activate in this order. So yeah, pretty cool. Handy little trick there. Let's get on to the first command. Basically what will happen is it will do a stat at every entity whose name equals Snowball, and it will set their success count to SHG. And what that means is that every Snowball, when it executes a command, if it executes it and it does it correctly, aka if it does what it's supposed to do, or if it finds what it's looking for, it will give it a score of SHG 1. If it does not find what it's looking for or executes its command incorrectly, it will give it an SHG score of 0. So now I'm just going to set every snowball to an SHG score of 0, which is needed to actually start it working, or start the working process. Now it will execute at every entity whose name is, or sorry, not whose name, whose type is Snowball, and it will test for blocks at this location around them. Now it's testing for the blocks right over here, and it's testing from here to here. So it's testing a 3x3 area of air. So if this is the snowball, okay, it's going to test from here to here for air. So it's testing for air all around it. Then what it does is, if it has an SHG score of 0, meaning it did not find the air, it will execute and summon an armor stand whose name is mine, who's invisible, who is very small, and does not have any gravity. Then it will just kill the snowball with a score of SHG equal to 0. It will then execute at every armor stand whose name is mine and play the particle smoke. You can actually take that off. Let me just make this day real quick. You can also, after that, or sorry, not you can also, but after that, it will just execute at every armor stand whose name is mine. Execute at the closest player who's in a radius of 1. So if you get into a radius of 1 of the armor stand, it's going to execute at you and summon a creeper named a mine whose fuse is 0. Then it will execute at every armor stand whose name is mine, and execute at every player who's in a radius of 1, which we just went over, and then kill the armor stand whose name is mine, and it's going to kill only one of those, which is why we have C equals 1. So if we throw this again, throw a few of them, we can just see it works pretty well. And if we go into game mode 0, one thing that you should note is when it blows you up, it actually says you were blown up by a mine. So yeah, that does a neat little thing there. Pretty cool. Yeah, that's about it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to make it, the commands will be in the description, or not description, but the comments. I might put them in the description just for, I don't know, just to have them there, but you will get the HTML code, and that is bad. If you get that, the commands will not work, which sucks. But yeah, they're going to be in the comments, so check that out. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.